Hello everybody, this is Chromical018, and this is going to be my thoughts on 7 Deadly Sins Season 2, Episode 4. I should have gotten this out a whole lot sooner, but at least I've gotten the stuff recorded, so it'll eventually get uploaded. Anyway, yeah, this episode essentially featured what was going on in the Fairy King's Forest, and the Fairy King's royal advisor, obviously not happy with Bond being, the king. Everybody accepting him as the king except for, well, King. And, yeah. She ends up attacking him, but obviously we know he's immortal, so he can't die. And she makes the very stupid move to send her attack towards Elaine, which Bond obviously blocks. And yeah, she apparently plans to have him stand in as the Fountain of Youth, considering he kind of is the Fountain of Youth at this point, since, he drank it and he's immortal. Anyway, while all this is going on, I think it was called an Albion, a skinny one, is attacking, obviously, the tree, and ends up cutting the freaking tree in half. Ugh, I'm tired, I'm sorry. And King is the only one who can essentially fight at this point, because Jericho's trying to get in towards where Bond and Elaine are. She actually gets in and can't really do anything about it at this point. And when the tree is cut in half, thankfully Bond and Elaine and the others are okay. And King is obviously, like I said, trying to fight it, but he's not really having too much of an effect on it, considering, Meliodas said, that has to be hit in the chest in order to essentially, I guess, kill it, because otherwise it's not going to kill it. And all the other fairies in the forest end up trying to get King to make a run for it, so while they keep it distracted, which would obviously get them killed, because it doesn't look like any of them are built for fighting. And Helram actually agrees, stating that the fairies have gotten soft since they've always relied on the king to do everything when it comes to fighting. So, yeah, it's good for the king to be a little selfish in this regard, because he's always been selfless in doing everything else for the fairies and trying to help them. In this case, he can't afford to be a bit, selfish, but King obviously doesn't allow that because he wants to protect everybody. Bond, the fairies, Elaine, Deanne, and his friends, he wants to be able to protect everybody, and in doing so, he ends up exerting I'm assuming a bit too much power, because as he's doing this, and the yellow auras around him, he kind of starts getting all distorted. It'll flash distorted in a way. So I assume he's pushing himself to his limit at this point. And he unlocks the true form, apparently, of the Spirit Sphere. And he actually manages to destroy it at this point, which is good. And the demons obviously, sense that this is going on. And one of the 10 Commandments, Galen, decides, to go and scout out, and he actually heads towards where the first one was destroyed, which is Camelot. And while all this is going on, Meliodas is showing off his sacred treasure with the physical clones, and the way he does it, stupidly, having all 5 of the clones, and himself, obviously, groping Elizabeth in a perverted way, and Deanne and, dang it, I can't remember what the guy's name is. The one that calls Merlin Big Sis, I can't remember what his name is. It's escaping me. If somebody can remind me, that'd be great. They ended up beating up him and the clones. I think that was funny. Anyway, Hawk actually thinks that because he's got more clones, they're all more powerful, and his power level increases because of that. No, it's actually cutting fourths, I think, depending on how many clones he creates. Like if he creates 1 clone, it's cut in half. And if he creates 4, it's cut into quarters, how math works. And Yeah, I think it's at that point that Galland shows up. And yeah, we find out that Galland's oh, I'm tired. I'm sorry. Galland's power level, I think, is 30,000 at this point, but no magic, which they notice, and they know that they're still recovering. And apparently, if their Galland had been at full power with his magic, it would probably be over. What was it? I can't remember. 40,000, 50,000, somewhere around there. I don't know. I remember that's in another episode, but yeah, he's not there for pleasantries. He's there to kill them. And I essentially have a bad feeling that that's not gonna go well. And I'm already saying this, even though I've seen the episodes. I've seen the whole freaking season, for crying out loud. So I know what happens, but obviously you guys don't, unless you've seen the show, in which case I can understand you watching reactions because you want to see how other people react to it. And trust me, you get to see my actual reactions, because I only ended up seeing one episode of the show before actually recording it for the reaction, so one of the episodes is not blind. It's episode 9, I think. So yeah, everything else is pretty much blind except for a few secrets that I only learned through looking up character information way back before I think I even started. I think it was back when I maybe first started the 7 Deadly Sins, or maybe got ready to do it, I don't know, but that was back then. Anyway, yeah, things are not looking good for the next episode, is what I'm saying. Also, I think this happens in this episode. Bond uses his blood, obviously, to heal King's injuries, because he's out cold. And Bond essentially threatens that lady, I can't remember what her name is, the one that, tried to attack Elaine, and tells her that if she tries that again, he's gonna kill her. And she promises to keep watch over Elaine, because she doesn't want to die. And, I can completely understand Bond's actions with that, because if somebody threatens someone I cared about, whether they're dead or alive, I'd act the same way. I'd probably kick their butts. I don't care how big they are, I'd try that. Anyway, if anybody else has anything they want to say about this episode, feel free to. If you want to talk about episodes I've already done, feel free to as well. And I will see everybody next time.